Today, I'm going to show you how we've scaled brands from 7K per day to 33K per day while applying Occam's razor, which is a philosophy from this man right here with the crazy jawline. And I'm going to show you how you can apply this to your own e-commerce brand to break through that revenue ceiling. If you're stuck at 7K per day and want to get to that 33K per day mark and beyond, then this framework is going to help you. It's a way of thinking, and it's not necessarily a bunch of tactics. While the tactics are important to scaling any business, ultimately, you do have to take a step back from time to time, look at the big picture, and understand how you are actually approaching your business and the growth of your business. So before we get into this, just a refresh here on the Shopify dashboard so you can trust the information I'm going to be sharing with you today. We scaled e-commerce brands to 8 figures as one of our brands the last 7 days. It's on under 200K per month in revenue on the way to 8 figures. The way that we do that is through multiple done-for-you services across the funnel, both customer acquisition and customer retention. Acquisition side, we're producing meta ad creatives, running meta ads, optimizing the funnel, and then we're also doing done-for-you email and SMS marketing. If that is something you're interested in, you want a team to come in and handle that all for you, or even handle a separate area, then there's a link in the video description to go to our website and book a call directly with me and see if it's a good fit for us to work together. That said, let's get right into it. So Occam's razor. This is a old philosophy, and it's also one that's been used by Albert Einstein, Newton as well, to basically understand what solution and what path you should go with when presented with multiple options. And Occam's razor basically states that the simplest solution with the fewest assumptions is usually the correct one. Okay, so when it comes to, this is a lot more like proven by science and philosophy about complex theories, but you can actually apply this to running Facebook ads and creating ad creatives and building funnels. All this stuff applies. And what I see is that too many brands, agencies, brand owners, whatever, they try to overcomplicate things because it seems like the more complicated thing is the sexier thing and it sounds better and all that stuff. And I mean, you see people on YouTube talking about, complex theories, and it's like, sometimes the most simplest things are the ones that just work. Okay. So I'm going to give you a bunch of examples today. We're going to go through a bunch of different like 8-9 figure brands to prove this point. But essentially the first thing I wanted to show you is when it comes to even setting up your meta ads, what we're doing for our clients right now is less and less campaigns. We're splitting campaigns by product and market, right? Market being country. Sometimes we're grouping countries together if, performance is similar and if it leads to better results. Every account is different. So make sure you test what works best for you. But essentially what we're finding for the most part is less campaigns. We have 3 campaigns here in this ad account. I've just hidden some client information to keep this confidential. We have 44 ad sets just in one of our campaigns that's spending the majority of the money. And then within those ad sets, across all the ad sets, we have 338 active ads. So again, it comes to simplicity and consolidation right here. But what Meta is moving towards as well with the latest Andromeda updates is that you don't need a bunch of campaigns. You just need to feed it ad creative, right? And even if the ad creative is only spending a couple bucks a day, it's still good data for the algorithm to learn off of, right? So this is just one way, and it's a path to simplicity. By the way, if you're a new viewer here, my name is Jordan Hayes. I actually run a marketing agency where we help e-commerce brands scale their revenue profitably. Now, if you're running an e-commerce brand, you're doing over 100K per month in revenue, and you're facing challenges with scale, maybe your ads or your funnel is not working as well as it used to or should be, or even if it's just a lack of time and resource to put into scaling this part of the business, then that's exactly what we help with. So down below this video, there'll be a link to book a call with me. We'll have a conversation about your business, learn more about the challenges, your objectives, and see if there's a fit for us to work together. Worst case scenario, I can provide some insights as we're seeing with our other clients to help you at your current stage of your business. And as I mentioned, this is for brands who are doing at least 100K per month in revenue and they need help with scaling and obviously want to scale profitably. And in the way in which we help brands scale is we provide services across both customer acquisition and customer retention, done for you services which are completely hands off. We take care of everything for you. And that includes media buying, CRO, landing pages, ad creative, email marketing, SMS marketing, overall growth strategy, lifetime value optimization, all that stuff, okay? So with that said, let's get back to the video. What I'm going to show you about with making the fewest assumptions is more when it comes to ad creative. And when I'm producing ad creatives, we go through multiple creative breakdowns on my channel, and I try to make them as simple as possible. But essentially, rather than making a bunch of assumptions about what your audience is going to be interested in, why not use some very simple frameworks such as 3 ways or 3 reasons why, like this one from Dr. Squatch that we went through on a previous video. This one, which is a desired outcome demo, which just taps into the actual desired outcome of the user. But essentially, just build them with these simple frameworks. Don't overcomplicate it. Use these modular blocks, right, that you can put in any different order that you want as long as it follows a set sequence. And that's it, right? You're making less and less assumptions because those ad creatives are based on a proven framework, which, by the way, down below in this video in the description, you can download the D2C Growth Vault, and that's for free. You just have to submit your email address and you'll get a list of our top performing ad creative frameworks. You can take them and apply to your brand right away. You can start creating ads today with those frameworks, right? I encourage you to go ahead and do that. And basically, what this going to allow you to do is you produce ads with proven frameworks that are proven to work. You're not making assumptions over whether the framework itself is proven, because we've done the hard work for you. The second thing is your script is going to be based on research. And when you build it within this proven framework, it's very easy to then build the script in, making sure that you're tapping into what your audience is interested in, using their language, talking about the failed solutions that they've already tried, tapping into their core desires, using the Life Force 8 core desires from the book Cash Advertising. I recommend that book if you haven't read it already, which basically is the 8 core desires we have hardwired into our brains as humans that you can take and apply to your advertising to make even more powerful. If you want to take it a step further, then just go to Eugene Schwartz's Breakthrough Advertising book, right? It's quite expensive, but again, it's a must read for any marketer. And that's going to give you some ways that you can increase the power of your ads and your copywriting even further. So just by applying a few of those simple principles, you can create much better ads that have less assumptions as to what your audience is going to be most interested in, what's going to grab your audience's attention and hold their engagement, and ultimately get them to click and buy. Okay. Now, when it comes to the ad creative iteration process, and an iteration is basically when you test these proven frameworks. The reason why these proven frameworks are so great is because, okay, let's just say the case that the ad doesn't work. That is not an ad that you then discard. What you do is you look at the data, you look at the hook rate, the hold rate, you look at the engagement graphs of the video, and you identify what part of that video, what second, what timestamp of that video are you seeing the drop off. From there, let's just say it's second number 7, you go back to your framework, understand which block of the framework that we used is second number 7. Maybe it's the social proof in this example right here. Okay, let's create a hypothesis, a very simple one that's based on a research to make a change at that section of the video that keeps people engaged. Okay, you make a simple change, and then what you do is you test the new ad again, and then you just rinse and repeat until you find the winner or cut after 3 to 5 iterations, right? You don't want to be iterating on an ad like 20 times, because sometimes you need to know when to cut it, and that also comes from experience. But ultimately, if the ad just isn't working after you've iterated between 3 and 5 times, depending on the data you're seeing, if after 3 iterations the data is still very bad, cut it, move on, choose a different angle, whatever. And if you're still seeing that there's ways to improve it and we're getting closer and closer to the desired outcome, which is on target performance, then continue iterating, right? And that's really the process. And ultimately, we're making less and less assumptions because everything is based on data, everything is based on research, okay? And that's really what I wanted to get across on the ad creative side. Now, you could say the same thing when it comes to building pages, right? A lot of 9-figure brands, they run these quiz pages. And again, it's the path of most simplicity. All the customers have to do is just answer some questions, they get served a product, and they buy, right? It's not that complex. As long as you have a good product, a product market fit, you don't really have to do a bunch of complex things. You don't really have to make a bunch of assumptions on your page as well, because the more things you overload onto your page, like the more complex it is, for me, the more chances of it going wrong, right? Unless you've iterated on your pages and you've slowly added and tested, A/B tested all these different changes, that each change that you make and each new thing that you add has led to a better result. Of course, that is also a path of least assumption because you are testing based on data and research, and you're A/B testing, right? You're not just assuming that something is going to work. So the same thing applies to landing pages, right? And I would start very simple and then build from there, A/B test, right? We see this example from Norse Organics, which is a brand doing 8 figures, scaling very aggressively, thousands and thousands of active ads on Meta. And this page that they're sending their traffic to is a headline with an image of the product they offer. And it literally is just social proof, reviews, before and afters, videos, like it's just social proof, right? And then it goes into a little bit of science, a little bit of founder, and just more clinical trials, right? Science. That is it, right? And ultimately, sometimes all you need to do is present the product, present the offer, back it up with science and claims, show that other people are getting results, and give them a reason to buy right now. Okay. And ultimately that is it. Another example I'll give you is HexGuide, right? A lot of you guys might know HexGuide, 9-figure brand, probably at this point doing $600-700 million in year in revenue. And their website is extremely simple. There's no flashy bells and whistles. They just focus on the product. They give you the information you need to make a good decision. And that's it, right? Sometimes the simplest thing is the thing that works. And ultimately, this is the way we approach running ads for our clients, the way we approach building funnels. Now, if you see something that looks a lot more complex, just know that has been A/B tested over time, and the changes that have been made have been proven to work with data. So we're not making an assumption that, the first thing we roll out with a bunch of complex bells and whistles is going to work. It's that starting simple and building from there. Okay. And this is ultimately what has allowed us to scale brands from 7K per day to 33K per day. And, if you like this way of thinking and you want a team that thinks in terms of philosophies and proven frameworks and scientific methods to create more predictability in your business in a world of eCom that is so unpredictable, and the market that is so unpredictable with tariffs and everything else going on, then as I mentioned, we do this for clients on a daily basis. If you are looking for that partner to come in and handle one part of your business, be it just producing ad creatives, or multiple parts of your business to acquire new customers and retain existing customers, increase lifetime value, build your enterprise value, also navigate you on the growth to 8 figures, because it's not the first time we've done it. We can help you navigate other areas of the business. Then yeah, there's a link in my video description. You can go ahead. We can have a quick 20-minute chat, a very frank, open, and honest conversation about your brand. And if we feel that we can help you, then we'll talk next steps. That is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.